So Ash is in the garage with me again. Probably not going to be much help, like usual, right bud? What do we got here today? 2017 Chevrolet Trax. We got some brake issues back here. We got a pulsation and the rotors are in really bad shape. So we're going to be taking these off and let's get started. Alright, so just to give you guys an idea of what we're dealing with here, let's take a look at these. Ash is already checking them out. So this is what we'll be changing today. These brake rotors, as you can see, they're really badly rusted. Now this vehicle, believe it or not, only has 37,000 kilometers on it, but it sits an awful lot. So these are pretty rusted and he's got a pretty severe brake pulsation. So that's why we're going to be changing these. And the brake pads are still tons of material in there, but I'm going to guess that these are rust checked on the back of the pads where the pad separates from the actual backing. So we are going to maybe replace those as well. So we're going to start by removing these. We're going to take this little bolt out here, this little, I think it's a T25. I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Remove that to get the rotor off. We're going to have to remove this bolt here for the caliper slide bracket. There's another one down at the bottom here where you need an open end because the actual brake line is in the way, like engineering. Come on, guys. And to remove the rotor, we got the 2 big bolts in the back here. So let's get started. All right, rotor retaining bolt, T27 Torx. Okay, so we got that caliper hung up so it's not hanging by the hose. And now you can see how the brake pads here, we still have lots of brake pad material left. But unfortunately, I think these are going to be rust checked. We're going to check that out. But as you can see, the brake pads are not seized. That's a really good thing. I took these apart, I believe in the fall, when we did the winter tire swap. And we're going to check these out really carefully and just make sure that they are not... Ah, we got her. There we go. You know what? These look like they're in pretty good shape, pretty good condition. What do you think we should do, Ash? All right, let's keep taking this apart. So now our next step to get the rotor off is we're going to be removing this bolt back here and this one down here, 15 mil. And like I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned these were 8 mil. That is incorrect. They are 10 mil, the ones that went on the back right here. And there's the engineering for you right there where you can't pull the bolt out of the bracket because it hits the brake hose. I don't know what they're thinking on that, honestly. Why is my 1/2 inch in my 15 mil slot? Honestly. And there's our caliper slide bracket. And these still slide very nicely, so nothing was seized. It's just, it sits a lot, so it rusts. That's stuck. All right, we got the rotor off with the dog outside. Now he's back in. Just had to heat it up a little, just a little touch and give it a couple of shots. As you can see, the back of the rotor is destroyed. We're going to be replacing these, but first we're going to clean up these surfaces right here where the rotor mounts. Going to be cleaning up the caliper and our bracket as well. All right, so maybe we can start by just checking out our pads. We've got some Macy Delco pads here from the dealer. So we have our silicone compound. We have new clips with the pads, which is pretty important. We have our pads themselves. These are a ceramic pad identified by the CH over here. So we're going to open these up and just make sure that we have the same pad as the other ones. The pads are pretty inexpensive. I believe they're about $70. So instead of having to do this all over again in a year, we might as well just replace them. And here we have the old pads. That was our outside, and this was our inboard pad right here. So it looks like we do have the correct pads, got our pins, everything looks great. All right, so as you can see, pretty sad because not a whole lot of material. Like I said, 37,000 kilometers doesn't wear a whole lot of material, but as you can see right here, you guys can see that right here, there's a hairline crack, and that's caused from corrosion getting in behind the pad. And I bet you if I take a little screwdriver and I start picking away at this, this is rust checked, so it separates the pad from the actual backing material. Now if you're in the southern US or some places where they don't use salt, you probably don't experience this. But here in northern Ontario, in Canada, we're in the snow belt, salt belt, and we do get this. Alright, so now you got this in your hands and you're probably wondering, what do you do with this? Well, we're going to discard these old clips because they're no longer necessary because we have new ones. So we'll just pop those off. And the really important part is to make sure that this is super clean inside here. So we're going to be using a wire brush. Alright, so these boots come off fairly simply. You just pull down like so, and the pin slides out. And you can see our grease and our bushing in there. These pins moved really nice on this side anyway. So we're going to push down, pull out. And that is a special grease in there. Now these boots, we're just going to pull them off like so. And making sure everything's nice and clean. No debris in there. Now it's always a good idea maybe clean these out. And we're going to just run this over the wire brush to get all this stuff cleaned up here. All right, we got this all cleaned up. All our mounting surfaces are nice and clean inside here. Trying to get all that rust off of there so that our clips don't stick or whatever. And here we have our new clips here. There we go, new clips. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to apply a little bit of grease inside of here and here. And that's going to do one of two things. It's going to stop the clips from, or the caliper itself from rusting and pushing the clips out. So you get rust in here, pushes out on these clips and seizes the pads. We didn't have that issue, so we were good there. This lubricant that came with the actual brake pads, I'm going to save this for the actual pins right here. So we will save that. I'm just going to use some regular grease. It doesn't take a whole lot, just a little, nice little light coat. Should probably be wearing gloves when you're touching these kinds of chemicals, but. All right, so now we're going to put our clips in. Making sure they're nicely seated. There we go. We're going to use our special grease again right here. Just going to lightly lubricate inside here so the pads have something to slide on. All right, and this is ready to go back on almost. All right, so let's get our boots back on. Spin them up nice. Do the same with this one. Perfect. Now we already have some nice grease on here, so I'm not going to remove that grease. This little packet right here. They don't give you a whole lot, so a little goes a long way. And we're just going to spin and work it in there. All right, so what you might want to do too, sometimes you get airlocks inside of here. You can hold the boot down, push down, and then release the boot, and you'll have like a suction. We'll do the other one. There we are. Now we got some movement. There you are, one caliper slide bracket, cleaned and ready to be reassembled. Okay, real quick important tip here. So before reassembly, we're going to make sure that this surface here that the rotor sits on is nice and clean. That's very important so that you don't get a wobble in the rotor. These surfaces up here have to be nice and clean. Caliper, we have got to make sure that the piston is clean, and we have to make sure that the section where the pads push onto right here, that these are nice and clean. And now what we have to do is compress this piston. And the reason why some of you are probably here is like, why can't I compress this piston? Why is it not going in? Let me show you. So these pistons are a little bit different than your average piston where you just put a clamp on them and you push in. These have to be turned and pushed at the same time. Taking care not to tear the boot. I'll slide my clamp on here like so. Get my clamp on there. I should probably invest in one of those tools, but I'm not a mechanic, so. All right, just gonna put a little bit of pressure, making sure not to touch the boot. I don't want to tear the boot, so we're gonna be very careful. Just gonna slowly turn that in, give it another little tighten, and we're gonna turn. That should be enough. I think we're pretty good there. I'll give it a bit more. There we go. That seems to be in there pretty flush. Now what we have to do is line up these little pegs. Have to be perpendicular like this because your brake pad is indexed with a little pin on it. So we're just going to turn that back here. And a little bit more. Probably like so. Yeah, I think we're pretty good there. Maybe just a touch more. There we go, that seems about right. So I think that's in far enough now that we can get our pads back on and slide it back onto here. So let's get going. Okay, so far we've dirtied our hands. We have our caliper compressed. All our surfaces are cleaned up, ready to go. Next we're going to clean up the bolts. Just get that Loctite off those big bolts real quick. I do have some Loctite we're going to put back on those bolts. But I want to show you a very important step that maybe some of you as beginners doing this, and that I may have made this mistake 30 years ago, maybe. The brake rotor itself. So I purchased the premium Delco brake rotors and they are coated. As you can see, they're painted, and this inhibits a lot of the rust that tends to build up inside of them. But a very important part of this is to clean the surfaces because some of them are oil covered. Now these ones I do not believe have oil on them because they're painted, but I am still going to go ahead and clean them with a non-chlorinated brake clean, or you can use soap and water and dry them off very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these real quick, and then we'll get to mounting this rotor back onto the hub, and we will reassemble everything that we got so far, because I'm getting old and this is tiring really, but it's easy. All right, so we're going to line up our rotor with our little hole right here. So we put our bolt back on, like so. And then we will reinstall our little screw that we had. All right, next step is, got my bolts cleaned up. I'm going to be reinstalling our caliper bracket that we got nice and clean. First step is we're just going to apply a little bit of Loctite to these bolts, and I'll start with the upper bolt. We'll do the same for the bottom bolt. All right, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to torque those. I'm going to put the torque spec for those bolts right here, guys. Here's your torque spec. All right, so we got everything back together in terms of the bracket that is put back on, and we have it all cleaned up. We have it torqued down to 74 foot-pounds as I showed you. Now we're going to be putting the pads back in. So if you've taken the pads apart and you said, oh, what pad goes where? It's very simple. The rear pad here is going to have a squealer bar on it, and it's going to be located on the top. So we're going to slide this rear pad into the clips. I hope it goes well here to find out. You know, I'm going to start with the front one first. All right, so we're going to be grabbing the pad, we'll be placing it in the clips sideways like so, and then wiggling it in, and we're going to seat it up against the rotor like that. Now we're going to move on to the back one and do the same thing on the rear. right, so your pad should slide inside the brackets like so. Should not be tight. You should be able to move them back and forth. Now they're a little bit tricky to get in because you got to put them in at an angle. Kind of like work them into the clip, sort of. Work them in. Work them. But now we're ready to put the caliper back on. All right, so now we have to tighten down those caliper bolts, or the slide bolts, too. Now the bottom one, I don't know how I'm going to do that, so, because I can't get a socket on it, so I'm just going to go, hi-ya! All right, so one very important thing to mention is when you have put it back together and you are done, you have the wheels back on, you're ready to roll it outside, it's very important to pump that brake pedal 3 or 4 times with the vehicle running before you put it into gear, because what you've done now is you have pulled the caliper back far enough so you can slide the caliper back on. And what you've essentially done now is you've created a space in between the brake pads and the brake rotor. And on first brake apply, you will have no pedal, because all that's going to happen is the master cylinder is going to push the fluid to the back. The caliper is going to compress the normal amount it would compress, but it's not touching anything yet. So that's why it's super important to pump the brakes a couple times so that you decrease that space in between those brake pads and that rotor. Take up all that slack that you created by pushing the caliper, little caliper pistons back. And so you don't run over your dog or hit your workbench or hit your garage door, because that would suck. Honestly, like that would be... Make a great video to hit your garage door, but probably not a good idea. Nah, never mind. You guys want to do something for me that would be super helpful for this video and to help other people maybe get their brakes done? Is go ahead and like this video. That is very important. Like it and watch it to the end, and I'll be forever grateful. Oh, and if you think I deserve a subscribe, do so as well. Hope this was helpful. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you guys next time.